Oh, my computer says 7:03. Maybe that's why. I don't know.
It's in Mountain Time.
Hello,
everyone. We are live. As we just start chatting.
I said shift change, but I was meaning time change. No, shift change, like I'm at work.
Oh, yeah. That was a Sunday. So we are Writing Warriors Book Club. So it consists of me, Camille, and Bree. And this is February. Last month we read. Well, we're the hosts. That's what I meant.
Yeah.
Last month
we read.
What did we even read last month?
That book. Oh.
Oh yeah.
That book.
To Kill a Kingdom, and then.
That shit up for me.
And then we read this month, February, we read Rebel of the Sands, and I would try and say the author's name. I could say her last name is Hamilton.
Is it Alwyn?
Alwyn. Yeah, it's something like that. I have it written down, but
sorry, author.
I don't want to missay the name. I'd rather just be like Rebel of the Sands.
Yeah.
So this is book one. It is a trilogy, but we just read book one for the book club.
Why did we pick I picked this book. This was my read, right?
This was your read, yeah.
Yeah. So this was my read because I liked the covers. And I saw them, this was released in 2016.
Yeah, it's a backlist one now.
Yeah. So I saw these covers because these weren't the original covers. If I remember correctly.
I was going to ask, do you like the original or do you like the new ones better?
I like the new ones better, despite the flaws on it, okay? Because, yes, I understand she has blue eyes because, her magic, right? But she looks really white on the cover. I don't know if you noticed, but now
I had the Kindle.
So she looks she looks... On this cover, she looks like she's a blonde-hair, blue-eyed girl, right?
She looks kind of whitewashed.
Yeah, but in the book, she's just supposed to have blue eyes, but she's supposed to have darker skin.
Yeah, she's supposed to have darker skin and blue eyes, which makes it stand out more because...
Stand out more, yeah.
But
the cover... I love the cover when I originally saw the covers, but then when I read her description, I'm like, man, this looks like a little white girl on the cover. And not like the girl that I'm picturing or the author's having you picture in the book.
Yeah.
You know? And I was like, so maybe the eyes only, but even this girl's eyebrows, they're very light. You know? They're like a brown dyed she was a naturally blonde and her eyebrows were so blonde that they couldn't see. So they dyed them. So she dyes her eyebrows. So that's just being nitpicky. That's not that big of a deal.
A cover is what sells a book.
Yeah. I mean, it sold me this book originally because this is a good cover. I do like this cover. It's very pretty. And I like the art on it. But... yeah, she doesn't look like that to me. I'm picturing her with a lot darker skin, and I like that about her. I was
too.
Yeah. So, yeah. But also, I couldn't decide whether her eyes were a light blue or a dark blue throughout the whole book.
I didn't care. I just knew that they were blue, so I was like, okay, I'm just imagining blue.
She kept saying that her eyes were the same color of the sky, which is a lighter blue. But then, Jen said that her eyes were the color of the sea, which is a darker blue. So
maybe, you know how some people's eyes kind of change colors a little? Maybe she had some of that going on. So I guess we'll start out with what we rated it before we get into what we liked and disliked.
Yeah, and then we'll give the disclaimer for the spoilers. But yeah.
Yeah.
So I rated it a 4 out of 5.
Just generous.
Since I said in my review, I really like the story, and I really like the lore of the world. The first few chapters, the lore was pissing me off the whole time, so it was really hard for me to get through it. But I did like the characters. I liked. I was about to call her Amma again, which isn't her name. Her name is. What is her name?
Amina? I wrote it down.
I think that's okay. I called her Amma out throughout the whole book. Like, so now that's just her name in my head.
She's a nickname. Nothing wrong with that.
And I also like Jin, so they were really good characters. So that's kind of what kept me from going down to a 3. Now, the reason why I was debating between a 3 and a 4 is because it starts super slow. It is really hard to get you in. Like, you don't get sucked into this book until, like, chapter 10. It's the same chapter I think you said that you kind of started to like it.
Yeah, because I really liked chapter 1, and then chapter 2 was, like, completely different.
See, I like chapter 4, and then after chapter 10, I like the whole story in general. So I'm sure it was chapter 4. Now, the only other thing that I really like could nitpick about, which really didn't play anything into my, choosing of what to rate it, was how many times this lady puts "and" in a fucking sentence. I mean, there was like 4 ands in one sentence. And I'm like, why don't you just use fucking commas? Like, come on. Like, she'll be listing characters. And there'll be like a so-and-so and so-and-so and so-and-so. Why don't you just say so-and-so, so-and-so, and so-and-so?
Like, this is why commas were invented.
Yeah, because every time I read that, it would just like jar me right out of the story. And I'd have to go take a break. Like, I'd get up and refill my water or something. It was every single time I saw that. Or she would be talking about something, 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 and something, 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 so-and-so, and so-and-so, and so-and-so. And like,
yeah.
Like, it would drive me insane. Like, I just couldn't. Like, any other way to structure those sentences would have been better than that.
She needed another editor for that.
Yeah, it was like slamming into a brick wall, man. It was jarring. I just couldn't, and I can't complain because my own writing style is pretty crappy myself, but like, I'm gonna complain.
Especially with it being a traditionally published book, it goes through like not only the author and whoever if she paid someone to edit it, but it goes through the publishing editors.
Well, I mean, it was this time around, but was it the first one? Yeah. I don't think the first set was originally published or traditionally published, was it?
I believe so. It's a trilogy on
I thought that's why she changed her covers.
I think she changed the covers to rebrand.
Maybe. Because
it was published in 2016.
Yeah. Who knows? No one knows.
Yeah. So I gave it a 2.5 stars. I don't think it was anything against the book. I just think it wasn't for me, really. I mean, I enjoyed bits and pieces here. I wasn't like, there were some parts where I just kind of had to skim through it, but I liked the characters, but I just really didn't care for the plot. That's about it.
I like the plot. That's what won me over besides her slow writing was killing the book for me. And then I liked the plot. So that's kind of what overtook the slow writing.
I will say she did explain the desert well, because I felt like I was getting very hydrated because every time I watch desert things or read a desert book, I feel like I have to drink so much water. I have to drink water for them.
She did really good with like those parts where like, and she foreshadowed a lot. All right, guys.
Done.
Are you done? Are you done with your rating? Keep going.
Yeah, we'll just say spoils start now. Yeah, so if you haven't read this book, leave, and then when you have read it, come back.
Unless it doesn't bother you. I know some people.
Yeah, unless you don't care to be spoiled, then hang out.
Yeah. So she did, one thing that I did like that she did was, and now I think this is just because this is kind of the way that I write, she did a lot of foreshadowing to her being the Ginny, or however you say it. I don't know how to pronounce these words. So like, and she starts to realize all the things that Jin has said to her, basically trying to hint to her that she is a Ginny. But like, the ones that really stuck out to me is like, after he told her that she's not natural, or she's whatever, not natural, or something like that, because the desert doesn't bother her. Like, she doesn't get dehydrated. It doesn't wear her out, you know, like it does
She doesn't get
him and other
hot.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my screen just went black. So, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, so it was like when he put his thumb on her cheek and like a layer of sand was like brushed off of her cheek.
Mm-hmm.
You know, man, my computer's completely locking down, so I don't know how much longer I'm going to be here.
Oh, no! We can make it fast.
This is why I hate this computer. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear and see you.
Oh, okay, so I'm here. My computer just locked down. It's just like, but yeah, so I really like that, like the sand brushing off, like it was a layer of her skin, you know?
Yeah.
Like she was fully coated in sand. That was a neat little foreshadowing to her powers, you know? What I don't understand though, well, I guess the djinn, or the jinn, whatever.
However you say it. We didn't listen to the audio book.
You did, didn't you? Oh no, you did the ebook.
No, I had an ebook.
Yeah, so I guess they don't matter. So like, even if like because her brother is the guy with the fire, right? Who's the weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess it doesn't matter whether or not they share the same father. That doesn't mean they get the same magical ability.
Yeah.
You know? So I thought that was a little strange. I'm like, I feel like the jinn should, like, their offspring should have a similar power to them. Because if she had the sand power, then she should be the offspring of the jinn who destroyed that city in their what do you call them? Like tales, ancient tales or stories. The jinn
legends.
Yeah, legends. There you go. He filled the sea up with sand, right? So I feel like that should be her father. You know, not someone else. And then whatever the fire one would be, that would be his father. But that doesn't make a lot of sense. I didn't really get that.
It would have made more sense, but yeah.
On like I guess DNA level, it would make more sense. I mean, I guess you can't get that into science when there's basically
when it's fantasy
with magic powers having offspring with human women. So, and I guess the jinns can't be female. I think I figured that out because they say multiple times that it's only the jinns having children with human women. So maybe the jinns don't have a sex. Maybe they could be both men and women. I don't know.
Maybe just don't get under the microscope.
What else is there?
I like really don't remember so much because I read it weeks ago. She read it a
long time ago, and she skimmed through a lot of it. And then the difference here is I literally put this book off so much because I disliked the first 3 chapters so much that I literally read this book today. I woke up at 9:00 and I finished it at 4:30. Yeah. So I read a lot today. So it's really all still fresh in my mind.
Yeah, so you're going to be carrying it, and I'm just going to be agreeing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that happened.
But you can't agree because we had different ratings.
Well, I can agree stuff happened.
Yeah. So what was the one big dislike that you had about the story-wise?
The story-wise, it was just like, I understand. Well, I guess we already did our spoilers. I understand that obviously from her leaving her home place to like their traveling sequence was so boring. So boring.
So like the caravan sequence.
Like the whole like her trying to first go to that whatever kingdom. And then
it wasn't the kingdom, it was the capital. She kept trying to go to the capital.
And because of her mom or aunt, I feel like it started with an L. And then the whole caravan sequence, I was just like, I was bored until Jin got hurt.
Yeah, it was stupid that she kept trying to go back to the capital. Like she was fighting with the fact that she was going to the capital or not. And it was
she was on the
definitely
train,
obvious
got
that
kicked
she
off.
wasn't going to go to the Capitol. Like, it was so obvious she was going to stay with Jin. Like,
Yeah.
And I was like, every reader reading this book can understand your feelings more than you can.
And we also already know you're going to go with the mysterious boy.
I mean, even
Rather
if you
than go
don't
by
take
yourself.
that into account, it was obvious she still wanted to go.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, they made it more obvious because that whole sequence with her in the caravan was basically him testing her, trying to get her to realize she's the Ginny, right?
Yeah.
By teaching her languages, and because she picks them up super fast, and telling her of the world, like all the different places. That whole sequence, I think, was to get her to realize that she doesn't want to just go to the Capitol. She wants to see the world. There's all these crazy things that you can see, and she's trying to write her new story. So I got that, but she was trying to. So basically, she's trying to figure out what kind of story she wants for her life. But it's just told in a very poor way in that caravan scene. But I could get it. It was very boring. And that caravan scene ends on chapter 10. That's when he gets bit, is in chapter 10. And from chapter 10
I said he got shot. I was like, I know he had a wound.
He got bit by a Deathstalker, which was poisonous. So
I didn't like how a lot of the things, like, they didn't, like, a lot of the things that they met with in the desert were supposed to be legends or whatnot, and then they were actual, like, real things. It was like...
No, they weren't legends. The only legends were there weren't even really any legends. They're ghouls. The things in the desert were ghouls. So that's something they always fought with. But it was just that they weren't in her area of the desert, because her area of the desert consisted of that gun factory and that mine. And the reason why there's no magic in that area anymore is because the iron repels the magic beings. So that's why they don't have a lot of issues with Night Stalkers and things as much as other places.
Yeah,
and that's why she never used her powers, because she was always holding a gun.
Yeah.
And that's how the other guy went crazy and lost control of his powers, because he was breathing it in the iron mines. So it made sense. But yeah, they do kind of make it sound like she's never seen all these creatures before. But then she said that her mother killed a Deathstalker in their house when one broke in. So, I mean, apparently she's seen them. And she acted like she had seen them, but I don't know. Yeah, it's like they're...
It was just boring. I mean, overall, I thought the whole story was boring. I didn't... It just wasn't for me. And maybe it was the time when I was reading it that I just didn't want to read it. That always plays into factor, too, where I'm always like, should I reread this book in the future, Maybe I would have liked it on audiobook.
You are reading a lot, and you're not writing at all. So we're going to shame you in this video.
I'm not writing, but I have an outline, and this isn't about this.
But she's reading like 4 books a month, guys. Like, someone needs to get on to her.
You know what? That's nothing. I've been watching these people that read 33 books a month. Yeah. And I'm like, wow, I read nothing.
But, truthfully, I could. Because, like I said, I read like 300 and something pages today in a day. The problem is I don't want to. I'm lazy.
Are you going to read the new Sarah J. Maas book?
Is it out yet? I haven't been keeping up.
I think it just came out. Maybe that should be a book club book.
Oh, that should be, definitely. I'll read it.
But we'd have to wait.
I have a Sarah J. Maas shelf. I have a shrine to Sarah J. Maas and, what's her name? Lee Bardugo. So, those definitely, anything Sarah J. Maas. She could write garbage and I would still fucking eat it up right now. She has won the place in my heart as the best author, no matter what. There's no me hating her work anymore. I mean, I originally hated A Court of Thorns and Roses, but
I
that's a
still
whole
need
other
to
story.
I still need to finish the Throne of Glass series. I haven't finished it.
I don't know how you're my friend. No, we can't agree on this book. You can't even finish Throne of Glass. I mean,
I want to reread that whole series, but like my brain is like, that is going to take forever.
no, man. I would go through one of her books in one day. I would read the entire thing in one day. And her books are fucking long. So I am a fast reader because let's see, chapter 3 in this book. Now we're just talking about anything because Camille doesn't like this book. Which is fun.
You know, I still would recommend it to people if they want something that is set in like the Middle East, set in like a fantasy world, but it was just meh to me. I've just read so many other fantasy books that are way better to me.
A Kingdom of Ruin was for me. What? Kingdom? No. To Steal a Kingdom.
To Kill a Kingdom?
To Kill a Kingdom. There you go. I can't even remember what it's called. That's how that was for me. I just didn't like it.
Yeah. It had interesting plot points and interesting characters and interesting ideas, but I wasn't in love with it.
Yeah. So chapter 3 starts on page 32. And
that's what I hate about ebooks. I mean, I guess you could do it where you see the page number, but I always do the percent. And so I never know like what page, what chapter, any of the good stuff. But what other questions should we ask about this? Who is your favorite character?
Yeah, who is your favorite character? I don't know. I really like Jin, but I do like Amina.
I think I like Jin more.
I like Jin because he was funny.
He was funny and like
he was like a smart ass.
He didn't take himself as serious as
he didn't.
I felt like she did.
And I thought her anger at him was a little bit unneeded for not telling her.
Yeah.
Because, like, it was pretty obvious that he wasn't trying to force her to come along with him. You know? He was just
like, I don't even know you.
Yeah. But she wanted to say that he was trying to, like, capture her to take her to be part of the rebellion because she has magic. But he pretty much made it obvious that that's not what he was trying to do. He gave her multiple options to run, multiple times to leave.
He did. So many.
So why are you getting pissed off, girl? Like that was all you. You chose to follow him. Just because he didn't tell you exactly who he was, he didn't have the ability to tell you exactly who he was.
Yeah, and he didn't trust you for a lot of the book.
Yeah, he did. And he was telling her a lot of stuff that she just didn't realize he was telling her. Like the password to the door, he kept saying it over and over again in the stories. Their running joke by getting that name wrong. It wasn't. It was the password to the freaking door. You know? So, I don't know. I liked it. I thought, oh, don't lock down on me again, computer.
We have a guest.
I liked it. We have a guest.
Oh, Cooper.
Oh, I can't see. My screen's gone.
Cooper, come here.
I liked it. I would recommend it. I'm probably going to get the other 2 books. I might actually donate to the charity. She's got a charity thing going on for violence against women. So if you donate for her thing, she'll send you 3 signed copies of the original covers, which are the British covers. These are the American covers. So
that's pretty cool.
Because I was going to go buy the books, and I was like, you know what? It wouldn't be... I don't have very many signed books right now. I only have a few. So I was like, oh, I might try to see if I could find them signed, and then I found them on there. So money goes to a good cause. But, yeah.
I know she has another book coming out, I think, this year. Not in that.
Yeah, it's a new...
seen it on her
Goodreads. Yeah. I'm trying to get to...
I was trying to see if this was her debut book, but I couldn't tell.
I
Like,
think
you know
this
how
is her
Goodreads likes
debut
to
book.
list every like book, like even if it's like a novella or in a different language, it like lists as almost a different book. And I was just like, I don't know.
This I'm pretty sure is her debut book.
Now,
You
even
know,
though I gave it a low
actually
rating, I would look at the new book and see if I'd be interested in it. Like, I'm not put off by this author at all. It's just, you know.
Yeah, I actually talked to her once.
The author?
Yeah, on Twitter. I didn't know that she was like a big author. I don't think this book was that popular when it first came out.
There's a lot of people. I can tell when a book is semi-popular because everyone on my Goodreads has either marked it to read it. It's, you know, has all their friends and you scroll down to actual reviews.
Yeah, so I talked to her because when she originally made these covers, I had commented on it. And I was like, man, I love these covers, right? And she commented back, she's like, I know, right? Aren't they awesome? And I was like, yeah, they're pretty cool. She's like, yeah, my cover art is amazing. I was like, yeah. I was like, man, these are badass covers. And I never realized it. Like, I never realized that she was a popular author until just now. Like, I read this and I just looked her up because she was on my Twitter. So I could at her, you know? I was like, what the? Like, I don't even remember, man. Like, I
That's
remember
pretty
just
cool.
talking to her.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, it was a little strange when I realized it. But, yeah, I like it. Her new book is The Notorious Virtues. That's the new one that's coming out.
I don't even know what it's about. I'd have to look it up.
I don't know what it's about either. So
the cover looks pretty cool from what I saw of the little thumbnail of it.
Yeah, it's like gold. But yeah, I mean, I don't know if we have a lot to say on this. I really liked it, and I kind of covered everything I liked. And Camille just is kind of blessed, so she doesn't have anything.
I was kind of mad, but I'm not put off. Like, yeah. So if you told me the second book was amazing and like a 5-star book, I might even read it. You know?
Yeah, I mean, well, that's what y'all did with it's A Court of Mist and Fury was the book. Well, I didn't like A Court of Thorns and Roses because I didn't like Tomlin. And then you and Jordy were like, the second book is so good, you have to read it. And then I finally went after like,
and it may be that.
Yeah, it could be that. So I was like, it might be that. Maybe it's going to be something where I read it and I'm like, no, this book is amazing. You have to continue, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Or, I mean, if it was her debut book and it was her first book of the series, like if this was her debut story and it was the first book of the series, there's probably a lot of faults in this writing, which is always what happens with first books, you know?
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. I'll probably buy them and read them because I've pretty much given up on the list that I made at the beginning of the year of my reads.
Yeah.
I'll just read whatever random books. I've been reading a lot of manga lately, which has been taking up a lot of my time. So, but yeah, there's nothing for us to argue about. The ending wasn't bad. It was a little bit upsetting that her brother just disappeared. I was really wanting him to join the rebels, you know?
Well, there's 2 other books in the series, so.
Yeah. I was wanting him to join the rebels because it was pretty obvious that he didn't fully believe with what they were doing, but he was doing it, and he was kind of trapped in that armor. So she breaks that armor off on him, and then he kills the guy he was like following. So I don't know. He disappeared after they both fought all those people like badasses, which she doesn't do very good explaining the fights a whole lot. You know, her fight scenes are very short, which is fine. I mean, it is fine. Like
it's not Game of Thrones gore.
Yeah, it's not like action packed, like seeing every punch thrown and you know every wound that's happening. But, I didn't really have a problem with the way it ended. I liked it. I mean, the writing had its down. It was slow. I'm not gonna lie. It was a slow book. but at the same time, I like the story enough that I want to see what happens. Now, if I get to the end of the book and it just like ends horribly, I'm gonna be pissed. You know, because I like the story, so I feel like she could really do a lot with this.
Yeah.
So if she doesn't, I could be upset. But I mean, again, that's a whole personal thing. So I might like the book, you might hate the book, someone else might, you know.
This might be
you
someone
don't hate
else's
it.
favorite book,
This
you
might
know?
be, yeah, so.
Or least favorite book. Someone might DNF it. Everybody's different.
I liked it. I mean, I was thinking about putting it on my favorite shelf. Like, not my shrine, but my favorite shelf.
But your
I have a shrine, I have a favorite shelf. Yeah, I have a shrine. Have you not seen a picture of it, man? I have all my books.
Send me a picture.
I have my custom made, what are they called? Like these pops that are made into the characters. I have all
Funko Pops.
Funko Pops. I have all my candles for those series. I have all my pins from pre-ordering the books from those series. I have soap that was designed for that series. I have all the items for my boyfriend boxes from those series.
You know what? Speaking of series, you know what series you need to finish?
What?
The Cruel Prince series.
Oh, I was looking at that whole like pack. They were selling all the books together.
So good. I read them back to back.
I read the first book and I liked the first book. Don't get me wrong. It's just I never liked it enough to continue.
It gets better. It gets better. It gets better.
Oh no!
I just love Holly Black though. But yeah,
I've never read any of her other books. So
I have read almost all of them, but I think one or two. I think she has one that's called like White Cat or White Hat, and I didn't want to read that one. That one doesn't look interesting, but that's like her first book. But I've read the coldest girl in Cold Town, The Darkest Part in the Forest. So good. That's one of my favorite books.
Yeah.
It's a vampire book, but it's
I
good.
don't like vampires.
I don't either, but it's great.
Yeah. I'm a shifter person personally, but
I think I've read it 3 times.
4 out of 5. What did you give it again?
2.5.
Oh, well, I wrote you down as 2 out of 5 on her little info thing.
I mean, I rated it on Goodreads 2 stars because it was closer to 2 than 3. So there you go.
So yeah, so I totally recommend. I think you should read it. I mean, it's a good read. Camille's like, if you.
I don't not recommend it, but if you like slow books, you'll like it.
I can't complain. I am like the queen of a slow start in my Stars Like Fate series. So.
And for March, so this month, we are going to be reading The Stolen Kingdom by Bethany Atazadeh. It is a indie book, and it is also a Aladdin retelling. So we're staying on the Middle East kind of adventures and going over to a retelling this time.
So I really don't know anything about this book. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, but it's like only $3.99 on Kindle, so.
Is it a shorter read?
I don't think it's that long. I don't know the page or word count though.
I mean,
but when I saw the paperbacks of it, it didn't look that thick.
It has decent ratings, so shouldn't be too bad.
I'm excited.
Hopefully.
I watched this author on YouTube, so I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah. I mean,
and she's really like in the works of publishing it.
Blind.
So like the first book, this book I think came out in July. The second book just came out in like December, November. And then the third book's coming out this year along with the fourth book. So the whole series will be out here soon, but it'll be a 4-book series. I think they're more companion books though.
Well, we do need to figure out 2 more books to put on our list.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be a thing.
For July and August?
Yeah. So we're just increasing. So we're supposed to choose one every time we finish one, but we didn't choose one last month.
Yeah.
So
we have 2. So if you have any suggestions, leave it below or tweet us.
Yeah, definitely. Because we kind of just picked some stuff that was on our read list. It's been on our read list.
100% did.
Yeah.
We went through our Goodreads and was like, okay.
You know? So. And then after the Stolen Kingdom is Rain, which is a sci-fi romance, which I think is an adult romance. So that'll be a shock for Camille.
I've read some adult romances this year.
Yeah, Camille's broadening her horizons. She's not She's not such an old mean person. Or an angry person at love. She used to always say how bad my taste was because I liked romance books. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, there's really not a lot for us to say. I hate that because I really like the book, but because I don't have someone to really discuss it with, it's really hard
I'm just like,
yeah. And since there's no one here in the chat, I'm just kind of like, nothing to say. I mean, it was good. I liked it. Read it. Like, that's pretty much all there is.
Yeah, read it. So give it a shot.
Definitely read it. Definitely worth the read. Definitely worth the recommendation. It's an old book, so I feel like most people have probably read it already.
Yeah.
But, I mean, there's probably still...
If you have it on your shelf...
people out there like us. Yeah.
I'm sure there's a lot of people that have it on their TBR shelf.
I just got rid of a whole bunch of books that I never read. I gave them away. I was like, I was never going to get to them. My TBR got to like 75 books. And it wasn't going to happen. It was like
on your Goodreads or at your shelf at home?
At my house. Yeah. And
I have 2 books that I haven't read out of everything, but I live in an RV.
But I never read them, and I just hung on to them, and I would like read other books, and like I'd buy and read other books, but I never read that stat. And every now and then I'll throw another one on there, that was, I just bought it because I saw it and I liked it, and I never read them. And
I'm about to go
big titles in there.
Full on book shopping in Texas and getting so much stuff. I'm going to all the half price books. I'm taking a whole box of books from my shelf that I'm not going to reread to go to my mom's house, and then I'm just going to buy books and refill them.
I would have to put in like a custom big shelf in my RV.
Yeah, I have a spot where we're going to put shelves eventually. We just haven't yet. I
would have to.
But I have a shelf above our bed.
I got rid of at least 100 books. So I'm down. I have my my shrine, which has all the Sarah J. Maas books and all of the Bardugo books. And then I have 2 more shelves underneath that are not full. And then I have 2 little square shelves behind me, and that's it. That's all I got left. When I used to have 6, 7, 8, 9 square shelves and 1, 2, 3, 4 fully full actual shelves. So I got rid of a lot of books.
Dang.
And now this is why I wanted to do the book club too, because I'm rebuilding my stuff with books that I'm actually going to read this time. I'm not going to not read them. I'm only keeping books that I'm reading. If I don't read them within the first 6 months, they're out the door.
That's okay.
Be my new rule. Yeah, because I had a bad habit of hanging on to books I never read. So
I had a bad habit of Book Outlet. I would go there and I would get the books I wanted, and then I would have to add books to get the free shipping, and I would never read those books.
Add random books. Now I don't buy used books either, so I lost a lot of money in that. Like a lot.
I do if they're in good quality, but I think what I want to do is mostly get hardbacks from now on. Yeah. Like for most books.
I actually prefer paperback, to tell you the truth.
I prefer reading paperback, but like all my paperbacks, like they just have I don't know. But okay, I guess we'll end the live show.
Yeah, we're not even talking about the book anymore, guys. Sorry.
But
read the book.
we'll have
I like it. I recommend it.
we have the Goodreads link to our book club down in the description.
And if you want to
Discord.
read my actual review, that has no spoilers in it, which you've already been spoiled if you've been watching this long. But my actual review is up on Goodreads. So that is there where I talk a little bit more in detail about just a few things that I pointed out here, but not much.
Yeah, you gave a pretty good in-depth review.
Did I? I don't know if I did. Did you read it?
Yeah, I read it.
Oh, you read my reviews, but you don't read anything else I send you.
Hey! I will.
I'm sorry, guys. I swear she's my friend, okay?
I'm getting abused.
All right. Yeah, we'll just end it. Guys, that was it. This is a lot shorter than our other one, I think.
The other one was also 30 minutes. We've only been doing short ones.
Oh, have we? I know that we read the synopsis in the other one. We didn't do that in this one.
No, this was kind of last minute.
I mean, really last minute for me, man. I just finished the book today. All right.
So
we're gonna
start reading The Stolen Kingdom.
I gotta buy it. I'm gonna buy it on Thursday. Probably with a few of the others that are down the list.
Oh, you didn't get it on when it was 99 cents?
Did I?
It was on sale for 99 cents in February.
I might have. Did you tell me about it?
Mm-hmm.
Then I might have gotten it. I'll have to.
Yeah, so don't buy it again.
All right. Bye, guys. I know we're very unorganized.
Bye.
Oh.